Yes, so we are understanding the sadhana panchakam, and there are 5 verses, and every verse has 8 steps. The first verse of 8 steps lays a foundation. It lays a foundation that how to become a seeker. The way, it lays a foundation. You hire a driver teacher and who teaches you how to drive, and you study, you get the rules of the road. Otherwise, if we don't intend to drive, we don't have even an idea. Oh, who cares? Let it happen. So these 8 steps lays a foundation that how we become a seeker. And in order to become a seeker, the same process is applied. What is that? Janati, know it fully, clearly, then aspire it, and then act on it. Yes, learning with the teacher, self study, with contemplation and reflection is the way. That awakens. The meditation that awakens is based on Sato Guna. Now I'm adding one more thing. It means we need to balance Rajas and Tamoguna. Tamoguna, anger comes from Tamoguna. Anxiety comes from Tamoguna. Being fully busy comes from Tamoguna. And this Tamoguna has no place, if I say, in meditation. So, what exactly the masters are saying? We have 3 gunas. Satoguna is based on the knowledge and happiness, pure knowledge. Rajoguna is makes me running, running, and running. So you see that my mind is running inside. For just for take an example for your business, you are at home and the mind is running. You are communicating with your members of the family. The mind is running. What will happen? See that one example. Any activity. Same thing with the tamoguna that leads me to letharginess. So the first step that we have studied, let me give you an example. First step is first step was study, learning the principles. But learning the principles is not enough. You have to spend 5 to 10 minutes on a particular principle, and you contemplate, you reflect on it. What is going to happen if I learn this, if I follow this? If we do not contemplate and reflect, then what will happen? The mind will move into Raju and Tamoguna, and it will constantly running. So we are laying a foundation to become a seeker. So what happens? The majority of our actions are directed to the family, social, personal, professional lives. We are dealing with the people at home, at workplace, friends and foes, strangers and acquaintances, and develop attitude of likes, dislikes, pain, and the pleasure. And that tells us a lot about our attitude and our responses in a given situation. And many a times, mind hides the things and opens up on what mind is cooking inside. You see that? If you have something in favor or against a person, so your expression is different than what is inside your mind. So you think something, huh? You intend to do something, and you'll end up doing something else, isn't it? So that also causes the anxiety and a lot of problems. So we have done the second, third, and the fourth step related to our karma. Did you understand that part, avidya? When we live in ignorance, Then we have a kama, the desire, and that desire prompts me to an action. That action may be habitual. That action may be that action may be unconscious, and that leads to lot of challenges in my life. So we understood that, and then we said that how to perform that karma in daily life with a clarity. There are different types of the karma, prescribed and prohibited karma, that we have understood. In the last session, we have understood, refined the karma. So that lays a basic foundation that how I should become a seeker. I will give you two real life example. It has been only, I would say, only a week I was in United States. Now it is my country. So I learned that there is a right lane driving, left lane driving. There's a difference of driving in India. Now see how the knowledge helps you and how the lack of knowledge causes the challenges. So I bought, in those days I didn't have enough money, so I bought an old, long Lincoln. So I had the driving license, so I went there. So I got my driving license for the New Jersey easily. Once you have a driving license and you have been driving anywhere in the world, so the Motor Vehicle Commission gives you the license. So I got the license, and I hired a driver teacher. I paid him for 2 hours to learn the difference between right lane driving and the left lane. So I learned it within 3 days, and then I took that Lincoln to get registered in my name. I had a long beard on those days, much longer than what I have now. So I could see that. So two cops were chasing me, two cars. And they started blowing the horn. I stopped the car. I came out of the car, approaching towards the cop. And they pointed the pistol. Get into the car. Get into the car. So what is the rule in India? You stop the car, you come out to the car, you talk to the cop, what happened? What's the problem? Rule was different. So I and my wife, Prerna was there, and then instantly I realized, oh, there is something wrong. So my mind thought because I have a long beard, maybe because of this, but that was wrong. See that was totally wrong. So I got into the car and I even closed the windows. So you see that. And at last, they not open. Now they were angry, they were forceful. Anyhow, I opened, and where are you going? So I told them, show me your license. And at least the thing totally got corrected. Action with the right knowledge, action done consciously, you are free from the fear. And that I learned it. Those rules are not written in the book, that when the cop chases you, you should remain in the car. That is not the rule in India. Now, from this example, what we should understand, that any action that needs to be performed with the right knowledge. Right knowledge. Otherwise, it accumulates sin. Now we are coming to the sin. We have to drop the sin. So don't bring in the past knowledge of the sin that we all have. sin is related to the God in the religion, in the dogma, in the belief, in the cult. No, not at all. But before I go to understand the sin, we should understand what I did at least for 5, 6 years so naturally, and it helped me a great deal. Are you looking at my hand? Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, 4 points. Then Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti. Again returning. I did this at least for 7 years, whenever I found the time. So Sangeeta knows I used to go to office. It used to take me 40 minutes in a bus. Now I'm sitting in a bus in the morning and I started doing it. Mind was not doing it. So it became such a good habit that, say, for example, I have something in my mind against Lara, but I'm doing Om Shanti inside and moving the thumb on the fingers, Om Shanti. So that negativity, that reaction, which was cooking in the mind, dropped completely. So it took me, almost, and even now what happens, the mind says moves automatically. When I'm free and the mind moves, when I'm watching TV, and people like sometime those serials, and I start doing it, I lose interest in those serials. The mind is inside. So this is one of the most important practice. Anytime you are listening to someone and you start doing it, Om Shanti. So the mind deeper inside breaks that habitual and the conditioning. And I can bet you, Stephen, if the mind is cooking an anger and a reaction against someone, and if you are doing this, it will stop. It will stop. So you see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then I use that any mantra. And use any mantra. Om Shanti. Amin will do. Or you can simply say, let me change my mind. Let me change my mind. Anything that you do. So it connects to the body, the mind, and the emotion. Because you are doing a physical act, and there is an inner mental act. You are aspiring. Why I told you this? That is now the topic. The next topic is that it says that we should get rid of this sin. This step means knowledge oriented mind replaces overactive and the lazy mind. Why? To destroy the sin. Sin. Now, how do we define the sin in our life? You already know about the sin in the religious life, but in Eastern wisdom, we say all our strong likes and dislikes, anger and the jealousy, hatred and the greed, competition, self centeredness, opposing tendencies in thought, speech, and action are nothing but the results of a sin. You see, there's a total different understanding. What inhibits my true nature is sin. What is my true nature? Let me communicate in peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. So anything that inhibits me is known as a sin in Eastern wisdom. Clear? Now understand the sin in Eastern wisdom is known as papa. Normally If I write in English PAPA, it means Papa. So it's not Papa, it's a Papa. So that Pap Sanskrit root means to drink. Pa means to drink and Ap means water. So what is the sin means here? Which is roughly translated as a sin means taking in or drinking impure water. So here the water means the thought, ideas, and actions in daily life that causes worries, anxiety, duality, conflict, jealousy, and hatred. That is known as path. Forget about the God, God and religion and dogma and belief. It says the moment my mind drinks these thoughts, it becomes a sin. And I have already explained you the repercussions of a sin. Now go a little deeper and understand as human being we think, speak and act daily. Life is nothing but a series of action in terms of the thought, speech and action. There are two options. My master used to define sin in a different way, in a little deeper way. You perform an act unconsciously, it becomes a sin. You perform an action habitually, it becomes a sin. You perform an action consciously, you perform an action in a playful mood, it becomes a virtue. So anger and anxiety and the reaction are driven by my unconsciousness. Stephen, it is driven by unconsciousness. I always tell you may remember. Can you plan to practice meditation tomorrow at 10 a.m. for peace and happiness? You will say yes. Now answer me the next question. Can you plan to be anxious and angry and reactive tomorrow at 10 a.m.? The answer is no. You see the Stephen? I could see the smile on the Stephen. The moment the 10 a.m. is there, the mind is conscious. Mind is aware. And in awareness, you cannot be angry. You cannot go into anxiety. You cannot react. Are you getting it? See the principle. To get away with all the sins, that is another way. And to what makes you conscious? This practice. That is why I gave you this practice. Just do it mentally. Mentally. You are listening, you are watching TV. Okay, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Mentally, Om Shanti. You say you are very expert in multitasking, so do multitasking, Om Shanti. You are introducing Om Shanti. Watch TV. Talk to someone. Do the multitasking, and you will see all the sins are gone. I love the understanding of my master. Any action done unconsciously is a sin. Every action done consciously, it becomes a virtue. Tiger is in front of you. You have AK-47 with you. You have to take a conscious action. Survival is what we need to take against the tiger. We kill the tiger. That is a virtue. That is not a sin. But killing unconsciously because of my selfishness, because of reaction, because of anxiousness, because of anxiety is this. Are you getting it? How can I meditate if I don't survive? How can I evolve if I don't survive? But first, we find all the means to save ourselves. If we don't find it, we are going to take a conscious action against the tiger. Sin means that denies and refuses our true nature and the virtue. So anything that denies my true nature is a sin. Does anger denies my peace? Ask yourself simply. It denies my true nature. It will accumulate a lot of impressions against a person. Reaction, anger, hatred, and jealousy. Look at the perspective the masters give. So, again, returning to the most important thing that I will take up in detail later. My master, you said that find out goodness is your nature. How do you know that goodness is your nature? Can you be happy by being unhappy? Ask yourself. Can you be in love with a being hating someone? Ask yourself. Again, go. Let me trigger your mind. There is a natural urge in every living being to move towards peace and happiness. There is an innate urge. You can say it may be a biological urge, but we say there is an innate urge, an aspiration for every human being to live into that state of peace and calmness. You do nothing, you are tired, you work for 10 to 12 hours, you're physically tired. The existence pushes you to fall into deep, sound sleep. Can you practice deep sleep? You cannot practice deep sleep. Look at it. The very existence forces you to go into deep sleep. You are in a stress, you're thinking, and the time comes. Existence says it is enough, and it puts you into sleep. You are refreshed again to think again the same stuff. So, there this principle comes how to destroy the sin. The moment in your life you're not bubbling and smiling in peace, find out what sin is attacking you. See that. What sin is attacking you? You are overactive, fully busy. Lara, fully busy. That is a sin. Papa denies our true nature. Papa means sin. By performing act of kindness, we can transform our life. So that is we create an opposing tendencies. Another way is to create an opposing tendencies. But this one is the best practice I have found in myself. And this can be done anytime. Say, for example, my mind inside has an opposing and reacting tendencies, for example, against Stephen. And now my mind is inside doing Om Shanti, Shanti, Om Shanti. And I'm still talking to Stephen Om Shanti. What I'm doing? I'm getting rid of the sin inside. I'm not allowing that mind with the reactive tendencies to be expressed in thought, in speech, and action. And the time will come, you will enjoy. It's a play and a fun. Then you play, even if the tendencies of the mind trigger an anger and anxiety and the duality and a conflict. Are you getting it? Now, if those tendencies are not present in the mind, where the mind is wandering, the mind is not wandering, mind is clear, you will succeed in meditation. Every time you practice meditation, you will succeed. Are you getting it? So have a bigger smile, Stephen, now. I know why you smiled in the beginning, but now you should have a bigger smile. Yeah, it once you introduce it, you will fail one day, but then the time you're doing, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, and the anger is there. You are creating an opposing tendencies, Om Shanti, anger, Om Shanti, and that dominates. Your expression changes outside. My master used to say the last thing, that is another way to deal with it. Make a list of those people with whom you have a disliking, reaction, anger, and hesitation. Call those people, meet each one of them, and express love, kindness. Meet with them the happiness. Bypassing what they think and believe and react, even if they react. Now you are playing your role. The mind inside, with those habitual tendencies, wants to pull you. But you say, no, this time. Whatever this guy will say, I will follow. I should not. Yeah, that is not to be told. Sometimes, the things not to be told. So understand that part. This is our fifth step in the direction to become a seeker. Let us start our journey now of meditation. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. So, write in good verses what I like and pleasant. What I like and pleasant make me unconscious, habitual, and what is right and good will always remain right and good. That is what is Shreyas, the path of the Shreyas. So, fill that idea in the form of a thought. Second idea, always think and contemplate, do I want self fulfillment or desire fulfillment? There is no desire fulfillment in the life. One desire, you fulfill one desire, it pops up another desire. So we live a life with the full of desire, not fulfilled. I have a reaction, anger, anxiety, duality, conflict, and then I incur sin in my life. Self fulfillment is the journey of awakening. Stage one now, looking deep inside. These thoughts makes the mind looking inside naturally. You see that That is why I spoke first. In the stage one, the mind is facing within, looking within. How simple it is. And the more the mind naturally looking within, the body becomes steady. We become aware. And that leads us to the second step of this meditation in the stage one, being comfortable. Move the mind on the head and the neck. No, on the joints, neck joint, feel the sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. In being comfortable, we always move the mind on the joints. We'll understand why. Move the mind on the shoulder joints, sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. I need not to spend too much of time in the stage one, because we have been repeating and I have explained in a different way. So move the mind on the hip joint, be there, feel sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. The mind moves on the knee joints, sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. The entire body. Entire body. Ear sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Being carefree, standing across the road watching the traffic. Last time we understood with reference to another simile, the birds are flying in the sky. You are aware of the sky that doesn't move, and you are aware of the birds that you are watching them, and they disappear. Again they come back, again they appear. But you are above these thoughts. Our great master Vivekananda says, step back. When thoughts are there, become aware, step back. Anger is there, step back. Anxiety is there, step back. The mind says, I'm running, step back. It's a very important step. And then third point, fourth step in the stage one is being natural, being casual. Why we become natural and casual? How to become it? You do nothing. You become aware that you are in a state of doing nothing. One day, what will happen? You'll get a glimpse of that natural urge and the aspiration that moves always towards inner peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Once you discover that urge, that pulse, that vibe, but this vibe is denied by the mind in ignorance. That is why we are practicing meditation. Second stage, we purify the mind in the same way. So let us purify the mind. Focus deep inside. Where? Focus deep inside the rib cage. You are looking into the space and start breathing quick, short, and cheerful breath. Continue quick, short, cheerful mind. So you are performing an action in the state of cheerfulness. That will purify the mind. And if you are doing it unconsciously, forcibly, the mind is reacting, you are incurring a sin. That is why Not everyone succeeds. Why? I have already just explained. Continue. Continue to have a greater endurance. Continue, please. And stop this. Do nothing. And take a deep, silent, slow breath. First from the belly, then from the chest up to the throat while breathing out. Make the humming sound. Louder, deeper, longer. Long, deep, continue humming sound. Keep your awareness deep inside the forehead. As long, as deep, as loud as possible when you exhale. But when you inhale, it should be very, very deep, silent and slow. Continue. Continue. And now stop this. We will directly go into the nyasa. The breath is already deep, moving the mind when you start inhaling deep silence, slow move the mind inside the right arm, from the shoulder to the fingertips or from the fingertips to the shoulder. Do you remember? Highway is the blankness, is the space inside. The mind is the driver, and the breath is the car. Without this car, you cannot express, for example, your anger or anxiety. Why we are doing it? I'll make it little more clear. Continue doing it. So the mind has an idea, a thought of an anger, but it has to take an energy to express anger outside. Now see what you are doing. You are bringing the mind at the conscious level. You are bringing the breath also at the conscious level with the deep, silent, and slow breathing. And that highway is you are moving the mind within, facing to your true nature that will sublimate. You have heard the word sublimation. Now move the mind inside the left arm in the same way, but maintain uniform rhythm of the breath. The mind follows that inside on the highway. And you will discover that this mind goes somewhere else for a few seconds and you bring it consciously. It is carried away by a thought. You bring it consciously back by regular practice. You are washing, destroying the sins. Every master gives you a new perspective in life. See, we are not discussing about the other guy is not good, he or she always does something wrong. No, we say, let my mind evolve, have a right knowledge in the right perspective. So then, what is required? I will do it. Then I can play with an anger rather than the anger plays with me. And I move the mind inside the right leg. Same way, the driver, breath. Now, driver is the mind, the breath is the car, the highway is inside the space. It is very powerful. Mind will say nothing is happening. Don't listen to it. That is the way of the mind to leave the practice, to go back to its own habit. Mind finds its own security in the habit, in the impulsive action. And now moving the mind inside the left leg, with the breath moving with the mind on the highway. So you have challenges, no doubt. I can see that. Until the mind becomes totally pure. Continue, my friend. Stage 3 is the stage of nyasa. There are two steps, but we are doing one step today. And now move the mind and the breath inside the spine, from the crown of the head to the tailbone. You will find out the mind from the crown of the head simply drops. When it simply drops without any denial or reaction from the mind, that is known as descending. You have heard a lot about in our country, we talk a lot about descendants, angels, and we also talk about ascendants. So you're moving the mind with the breath from the tailbone to the crown of the head. That is ascending. So that may be a very material, physical expression of descendants and ascendants. The mind, when it is pure, it realizes that it has to work for ascending. That ascending is your personal effort. When the personal effort reaches to a saturation point, the blessing, grace falls. We realize we are in a new state of consciousness. Have you heard the Buddha speaks about the middle path? This ascending and descending is the middle path. And now leave this step. We will go to stage 4. We'll check the patience that we have We'll check the endurance, and but we will do this step casually. Om Shanti. Any thought comes, Om Shanti. Drop it. Super impulsive. Om Shanti with a meaning will have a deeper impact. Any feeling the mind experiences, Om Shanti. No feeling, Om Shanti. I have already explained you this step in a playful manner. What is that? Someone asks you, what is your name? You say Om Shanti. What you do, Om Shanti. Where are you going, Om Shanti. Where is your house, Om Shanti. Are you single, Om Shanti. Are you married, Om Shanti. What will happen to the mind that makes me crazy? It will go in the background. It will dare not to come. That attitude is a playful attitude. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. This step is coming from the Tantra. Tantra, yoga is a very deep science. That singular goal is awakening and realization. People have misunderstood that. Or just continue. Continue. Om Shanti. Now we'll go to the last step, the stage 5. Same step, three-pointed awareness of the breath. It gives us a glimpse of the state of doing nothing. You are looking at the breath. You are knowing the breath is going in and out. 1. You feel the sensation of the breath that goes in and out. Natural. You're not doing anything. And third point is very important. You're not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Who changes? The mind. So we are asking the mind, stop it. Stop everything. We need you. Do nothing. So both, either I can say state of doing nothing, is also the three-pointed awareness of the breath. and doing nothing. You're already in the state of doing nothing. You will discover that in the state of the doing nothing, the mind is so much pure that it continues to maintain its awareness, feeling good, breath good, going in good, coming out good, listening good. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Bring your both the palms on your closed eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. What a beauty. You all maintain total stillness in the body. See that? What we do in meditation as a teacher? Don't move. As if we are training our dogs. That will not work. No, I have to be very. You have to allow the mind to work on the body. You see, Lara, you remain totally quiet and still. Contemplate on it. What is your experience, Lara?
That I live in a state of perpetual sin.
So get rid of it.
Well, but I also have to survive. And so I think for me, it's, I'm constantly busy, 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 busy. There's so many people asking me to like teach or meet with me or do something or finish a project or do a project. And so I have a hard time saying no to it because my fear is, am I going to have enough to live off of? And so I live in sin.
What
And I'm
is
going to be okay with that.
what is causing the sin? It is
What is
your
causing this
fear.
sin? I think the fear of not having enough money to live off of.
You know, Sangeeta asked me that I want to pay you. I said, very good. I said, you pay to the monastery.
Mm-hmm.
So where we go, you have not gone to Tripura Yogashram in Haridwar.
No. Mm-mm.
So should I incur a fear of not having enough to live? That fear is unfounded. One. Second is, if you have a fear, you cannot reorganize your life in this situation.
Right.
Two. So, when you are not able to reorganize your life in this condition, in these circumstances, it will affect your performance. Am I making myself clear? So, now reverse this process. Find something more and more creative way of doing it. Reorganize. And the one thing my master used to say, as long as we are alive, especially for human being, the existence always gives you bare minimum to survive. then it all depends on your creativity. I can never think that Lara cannot survive. Are you understanding that? Second part, just experiment what it takes for a month. Get out of the fear. Reverse the process. Get rid of the sin. Continue doing just for 4 weeks. See what happens.
It's hard to say no to what I'm already committed to. It's going to have to be a couple months.
You should be committed to everything, but without fear.
It's not done in fear. It was a realization that I live in that tamasic state, or that tamaguna.
We have to get, it's a great realization.
Yeah.
I put into your agenda tomorrow at 10 a.m. I will complete this work in fear, and then see.
That's not happening tomorrow.
I'm paying. Think
Okay.
of Sangeeta. How are you?
सर बहुत अच्छा था, और आज एक भी श्वास मैंने खाली नहीं छोड़ी, अवेयरनेस श्वास पे बनी रही, ब्रेथ अवेयरनेस बहुत अच्छा.
She followed every step as it is. I'm translating into English. बहुत बढ़िया. साधना तो साधना से ही लाभ होता है. Very good. So how are you, Stephen?
Good. Very, very peaceful meditation. Found myself just being. I heard and listened to every step of your voice. I felt very settled. I found myself in a very dark, not dark in a bad way, but just a dark space.
Yeah.
And then, interesting enough, Charlie, my dog, comes running in with his squeaky toy, and he's right in front of me, just squeaking away. And the only thing that changed for me was, instead of me being in the darker room, is as if somebody opened a window up and let light in, but I still remained in my state with him there doing what he was doing, and I was just doing what I was doing. So it was great.
This is getting out of the sin completely. Let the world do whatever they want to do. But I maintain that state within. From that state I work. That is another answer, Lara. I told you that you make me my assistant, Lara. Everything will be good. So how are you, Jerry and David? Jerry and David, how are you?
Okay, doing well. It was really nice and easy.
Voice is breaking up. Voice is breaking up. But we'll see that. I'm